All right, guys. So today's episode, man, we're going to be talking about budgeting. And I know that sounds crazy, like, oh, what do you mean budgeting, blah, blah, blah. Though it sounds easy, so many people struggle with this, right? I mean, at the end of the day, what does it come down to? Spend less than you make, right? However, a lot of people have difficulty with doing this. So we're going to go ahead and give you guys some parameters to go by that will help this process even more so and keep you disciplined with spending money, guys. Because if you don't learn this skill set, you're going to have a problem. Because, yeah, of course, you need to always make more money. However, you need to also know how to budget money so that when you do make that more money, you don't do dumb shit.
I would argue that budgeting is one of the most important things you can do, even at the very beginning of your journey. Because ultimately, if you want to be successful, if you make money today and don't save it or invest it correctly, you'll lose it tomorrow. That's going to be huge.
A little bit more transparency for y'all.
Yeah.
I have two tenants right now, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Both of them make over 6 figures per year, right? However, they're always late for fucking rent, okay? Why? Because regardless of how much money you make, if you spend money like a moron, you're typically going to have financial problems. Versus I have other tenants that make way less money, but they budget better, have better credit scores, and they pay their rent on time. So obviously, we always tell you guys on this podcast, yo, make more money, make more money, make more money. Mm-hmm. However, if you make more money, but you still spend like an idiot, what ends up happening is you still live paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people that make 6 figures a month live 6 figures a year, live paycheck to paycheck, and that's not what you want to do, guys. It doesn't matter necessarily how much money you make if you spend money like an idiot. So we're going to teach you a skill set here that will teach you how to budget money correctly regardless of how much you make.
And also, when you budget, it's not in your head, my friend. It is on paper or app. You can't do things in your head 24/7. So you write it down or put it in an app.
All right.
Cool.
Speaking of which, so we're going to go into the top 5 things you got to do. Countdown. So we're going to count this down from 5, right?
Yeah, from 1 to 5.
1 to 5. Okay. In no particular order of importance?
We can follow a little order here.
Okay. Yeah. So the first thing you're going to do, guys, is write down your monthly expenses, okay, and income side by side to have a visual representation.
Yeah.
This is critical, man. Fresh, go ahead. You can take it first.
Yeah. This is something that I had an issue with because growing up, I didn't have a budget for anything. I just kind of made some money, spent it. But when I lived on my own, it was kind of like, okay, now I'm by myself. I got to figure out how to pay bills, survive, and eat food as well. So for the most part, you're gonna want to have a actual pen and paper, a notepad, and make 2 columns, one for expenses and one for income. Now, for most people, you're gonna have more of an issue because you're gonna have to break down your everyday expenses and monthly. But to keep it very, I want to say short and brief, monthly expenses and then monthly income, right? So let's say you're making like $3K a month, and you have like, for example, your rent, car, let's say miscellaneous, food, etc., right? Put it down here, left column, and then your income here, right column. Just breaking it down and then add it up. So monthly income, 3K, expenses, maybe like 2K. Then with the remainder, you put either R and the actual amount, and then now you know what money you have every month coming in and what's left over when expenses are paid. Yeah. That's huge because most people, they just make money and spend it without knowing where it's going or what's happening. And as a result, they can't plan for the future or save money. And actually, there's an article I have in the chat, guys, you don't remember bringing it up, where most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck.
Yes.
I think it's 64%. Is that right, Bills or Mo? 64%? Yeah, but yeah,
pull it up real
that's
fast.
a stat that's really crazy, bro.
Yeah, even people that make 6 figures. I'm telling you, man,
and
making more money a lot of times doesn't save you. Like, they got these 2 idiotic tenants.
If you can't see it visually, you don't know how you're going to manage it. How can you manage what you can't see? Yeah. So that's huge, by the way.
Yeah, 64%.
Yeah, could you bring it up?
Yeah, I'm bringing it up right now.
Yeah, that's huge, by the way. So yeah, that's your first step. To write it down, break it down from expenses to actually income, and see the difference between that disparity.
And the other reason, too, guys, why it's important is that sometimes you have to take deliberate, overt steps sometimes to solve a problem, right? Like, if you know, all right, I need to budget better, etc. Like, if you just sit there and kind of calculate it in your head, you're going to be like, oh, blah, 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 or you try to do it like an app. But if you sit down and you actually put pen to paper and you do it, there's something about that just makes it more official. It makes it more like, okay, I'm really out here like trying to do it. Because when you take deliberate steps to change, like pulling out a fucking pen and paper and writing it down, more than likely that's going to go ahead and fuel your decisions after the fact to like make something happen, right? And it shows that like an actual effort. Now that segues perfectly into the second thing, right?
Can I?
Go ahead. Before a second.
So writing it down is one thing, and I think that's the best way you can do it, from my opinion. But if you're more like relax. You're more new age. There's apps you can use as well
Yeah.
to get. I think is it Mint?
Yeah, Mint helps with that.
Different apps you can use to get that like budget down packed.
Yeah.
But I think
But nothing beats writing it
for
down,
most
dude.
people, writing down your goals, your income, your
Yeah.
expenses, your budget is huge, my friend.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I think you should also have Mint as well, right? Which is a great app to like kind of see money coming in and out. But there's just something about putting it down pen to paper with 2 columns that is just gonna set you up. I'd say start with writing it down and then go ahead and get the app as well, right?
Yo, dude, legit, bro. I spent literally day after day writing down my goals and my budget back to back. So by the time like 2 months, 3 months passed, it was already in my head. I already knew the numbers. I knew how much I could spend, what I can't spend, what I could spend. And it's funny because when I first came to America, I didn't know about tolls. So imagine, right? Driving down the toll roads every day from Pembroke Pines to Boca Raton, taking tolls. Then the bill comes at the end of the month. I'm like, damn, how can I pay this? But luckily, I had a budget. So the money I saved up, I put into paying tolls. If not, that would went from rent to tolls.
And that's a sneaky thing that might come up that you might not even notice.
You wouldn't even know.
You gotta be able to do that. And that segues perfectly, guys. So the reason why you write it down, right? This segues into number 2, right? Which is hold on.
Round 2. Fight.
It's going to give you a visual representation of what's going on, right? I've always said when it comes to fitness, when it comes to budgeting, making money, whatever it is, what gets measured gets managed, right? So if I told you, yo, I want you to drive to Alabama, but you've never driven to Alabama before, what's the first thing you're going to do when you get in the car? You're going to put it in your GPS, right? Because the GPS is going to tell you how to get there. Same exact situation with money. If you want to save more money and be better with your spending, you need a guide to do so. So, and the only way that you're going to have that guide is if you actually know what the hell is going on. You need a visual representation of what's going on, right? What get measured, what's measured can be managed.
Yeah.
So, as soon as you have like that, that list out of all your expenses, you could quickly be like, damn, wait, I spend this much on subscriptions? Fuck this shit. I'm not going to do this, right? I know Rocket Money helps with that as well. Mint, all these different apps. But writing it out and actually like seeing it visually, you're like, oh, damn, this is a lot of money. And then you could go ahead and cut it out. So it puts everything out there for you in perspective for you to actually look at it, see how much it costs you, see what it's costing you versus how much you're making. And it'll give you, I mean, some people might say, damn, man, that's so bleak. I don't want to see that shit. Yo, you need to see that shit, especially if you're having financial and budget problems. You need to look at exactly where your money's going out. And you're going to be shocked sometimes when you write it back all out, what the hell you're spending money on. And you'll be able to identify a lot of situations where it's just a money dump. Like you're just draining money on some stupid shit that you don't even use anymore.
You know what's funny about that, what we just said earlier?
Yeah.
Most people would rather not know how much they're actually making and having after the expenses and just wing it.
A lot of these niggas are Mario Winans with their money.
Yeah, hold on.
I don't want to know.
But who is the main culprit? Girls, bro.
Yeah.
They literally go to work, buy makeup, dress up, buy random shit in the mall,
Facts.
and then say, damn, why am I broke?
Yeah.
But then they go to the club, get drinks paid for. But you know what? I'm living life, partying, having fun. And then they're broke as hell. And you're up there kissing their asses like, bro, come on, man. But listen, though, it's real. If you don't know what you're spending, how can you manage it? You can't manage it.
You have to measure it to get it managed. You got to get in the Jeep.
Bro.
That's like driving to Alabama without a GPS. What the fuck? Nigga, you gonna be in somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And next thing you know, some dudes with white hood show up. And you're like, oh shit, I'm in the wrong place. Because you took the wrong road because you didn't know where the fuck you were going. But if you had a GPS, you had a map, you would have been able to get there quickly. Now, with that said, can you still get to your destination of Alabama without the GPS? Of course you can, but guess what's going to happen? It's probably going to take you longer.
Years.
You're going to waste a bunch of gas. You're going to have a headache. You might break down your car in the middle of the situation. Like, anytime you're going on a journey and going somewhere you've never been before, guys, if you don't have a roadmap to get there, you're going to pretty much increase the difficulty of that journey significantly, the time, the duration, the stress, etc. And then who knows? During the trip, you might say, fuck this shit. I don't want to do this anymore. So if you go ahead and you have everything written out, you now have a game plan and you have a strategy to get from point A to point B as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Same thing with fitness. If you guys want to lose weight, you got to track your calories. Mo's been tracking his calories. We've been cutting his macros down every few weeks, right? So that he continuously loses weight, right? Some of you are, oh, I'm losing way too slow, blah, blah, blah. Well, the reason for that, guys, is that number one, so he doesn't get saggy skin. Number two, so that it's sustainable. So number three, he can hit that goal and stay at that fucking goal. Same thing with budgeting. You need to have a visual representation. You need to have that game plan, that GPS, etc., to get to your destination efficiently in the best way you can in a sustainable manner. Same thing with budgeting, guys.
Now, some people may say, bro, this is too much work. I don't want to look at numbers. But I'll tell you this. You want to be successful? If you can't manage your money when it gets big, when it's small, imagine when it gets big. Now, I know
like with my
guys,
tenants, they have shitty credit scores. They make more money, but they still don't pay fucking rent on time because they're idiots.
I know guys that do their whole budgeting system on Excel spreadsheet. Now, I'm not going to lie. That's too much for me, but they're so concerned about their budget and how they spend their money. They're going to take extent of going on a computer, Microsoft Excel, and they live by that shit.
Yeah, and they put a formula in there, and it does everything for them and tallies it up,
But the problem is, guys, like, I get it. You're scared to look at how much money you make, how much you have left over when you pay your expenses. But without this, guys, this foundation here, you can't move forward. And for the average American, you're living what? Paycheck to paycheck? Dude, I can't say America, bro. I was like, bro, there's no way in hell I'm going to stay in this position and not know what's going on with my money, bro. Like, there's no way. And even now, y'all say, oh, Fresh, you bought cars. That's not smart. Bro, my expenses are so low, bro. I could buy 20 more cars, bro. I'll be fine. But it's because I budget my money. Now, obviously speaking, I don't show you my investments because I think that's none of your business. But when I budget my money, I put it towards obviously savings, investments, and then when it's done, I'll buy my toys because I know I budgeted money correctly. But mind you, I budgeted a little bit of money at the very beginning so I understand the fundamentals. But imagine, let's say you win the lotto, right? Let's say you never budgeted money before, never had it before. You win the lotto. What happens to most winners? They get the money, they spend it right away. Without any inclination on how to actually save the money and invest it. Versus from the very beginning, you budgeted at the very beginning of your journey, from very small amounts of money, your first paycheck, from then on, okay, now I'm making better money, making more money from my job, from my side business, I can manage it better to invest in myself and the future.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense.
Making more money with an idiotic mindset is still going to leave you broke.
Yeah.
Like, all it's going to, because here's the thing, if you have a spending problem, if you have a budgeting problem, all that's going to happen is your spending now is going to be more sensationalized. You're going to buy all the dumb shit that you couldn't afford before. Like, making more money a lot of the times doesn't help if you have a broken mindset when it comes to saving and budgeting correctly and knowing how to deal with your money. So this is a skill set, guys, that you need to learn early when you're a brokey, so that when you become more successful and you make money, you're able to keep more of your money that you make, guys. This isn't about just making more money. It's about keeping the money that you work so hard to make, keeping the money that you work so hard to make in the first place.
I wish when I was 18 years old, I had this. At 18, bro, or 16 years old, being this like aware at the budget money from the very beginning is huge, bro.
Yeah, man.
You start early, bro. Dude, I'm telling you, when you get more money, better position, more paycheck, you're gonna be glad because now the more money you make, you keep your expenses low and you make more money. So what you can do, invest.
Yeah.
So I pay off that too, by the way.
Yeah, especially you guys that like to have experiences and spend money. You definitely have to do this shit, right? Like some of us, right? We just have low spenders, so we're just like, for example, me, right? Luckily for me, I spend so little that
you're better than me, bro.
Yeah, I've never had to worry about writing it down and putting it all down, blah blah blah. I use Mint and it helps me, but my expenses are so goddamn low. They've always been low, so I've never had that issue because I don't wear designer or anything else like that. The only thing I really spend money on is eating out. But a lot of you guys like to have certain experiences, like to go on vacation, like to go out, do things. Cool, totally fine. Make sure that you write it down though. Make sure you track what the fuck you're doing because you just gotta make one bad purchase and that could fuck up everything, bro.
Or lose your job.
Like that could fuck up everything. So if you're like kind of one of these people that like, hey, I want to live my life, I make this amount of money, I want to live my life, I want to be able to do vacations and all this shit. I'm not telling you not to do that. But what I am saying is that if you like to enjoy things in life and you like to spend money and everything else like that, cool. But you better fucking write it down. Because I acknowledge that most people aren't hermits like me. Sit inside, right, and not spend money.
Minimalist.
I know people. Yeah, most people are not minimalists, which is fine.
Yeah.
So if you're not a minimalist, you need to write your shit down, man, and keep track of what the fuck's going on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So chats, and then or do you want to hit 3?
Chats.
Now, third, very important, guys. Save towards your emergency fund because life is as real as Murphy's Law. Okay.
Yes.
So if something bad will happen, it definitely can. And we talked to you guys about this a lot on the pod, where we want you guys to have an emergency fund. Well, what is an emergency fund? Somewhere between 3, preferably, to 12 months of money saved of how much you make. So let's say you make $4K per month, right? That's roughly $52K per year, right? Or 1K a week, right? We want you guys to have somewhere between, I don't know, maybe 50K saved up because that's pretty much almost a year of salary, right? If you can have 1 year of salary saved there, or half of that, maybe 6 months worth, whatever it may be, or your living expenses. We want you to be able to have that emergency money. God forbid something happened to you guys.
Peace of mind.
You need that. Yeah. Chris Crone calls it a SWAN account, sleep well at night account. Sleep well at night. Yeah. Account, SWAN account. You want three months bare minimum, all the way up to 12 months of living expenses, guys, there, so that if anything happens, you get laid off, family emergency, whatever it is, you have that money. And that money, just by the way, is separate from the money that you're investing. That's money that you have liquid cash ready to go at any time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's another article that talks about Americans don't have enough money for savings. And they don't have even $1,000 in their accounts, which is huge, by the way. So guys, like Myron said, you might lose your job. You might have to lose one of your income streams. You might actually get hurt or get accident. You might get sick.
Family member might need an emergency surgery.
Yeah, and if you can't work to pay for this time off, you're screwed. Like, I know guys that worked at my old job, and like they had issues, and some of them actually went homeless because they lost their job and they couldn't pay for their rent. They couldn't pay for anything. They lived in their car. So the problem is, guys, especially Americans, we spend money. We don't think about our future or the current state of our income. And with saving, it goes a long way. So the best bet is to have savings for at least, I want to say 4 to 12 months in your account. So if anything goes wrong, you have peace of mind, one, and you're going to be able to survive for 12 months at least.
Yeah. And this money, guys, I just want to be explicit about it. It is not the same as the money that you have, like, that you're using to invest. This is money that's separate, that's like just there. You have it. You could let it sit in a checking account. You can let it sit, maybe. It just needs to be liquid. Hell, I'm okay with you even putting it in like maybe even in not crypto, because that could go up and down significantly.
Yeah.
Unless you bought when it was really cheap, that's different. Like if you bought Ethereum when it was like $500 or some shit, that's different. But nowadays, especially with crypto being up, being so drastically different, but you just need to have that money liquid, guys. Is my point. Like it needs to be available to you, whether it's in a savings account that you have access to that you could pull from. That's no penalization, by the way. And there's a couple of them out there. You want to make sure that it's liquid, that you have it there and you're able to use it whenever you need to, because if that's the whole purpose of having the emergency fund, you need to be able to pull it out in an emergency quickly with no fucking questions being asked.
I have friends as well that they buy watches for their emergency funds too, which is crazy, by the way.
Oh, damn.
But
That's a little risky.
They keep it in a safe, and they just keep it there for a period of time. I mean, it's kind of extreme.
The only way I could see you even doing that, you'd have to buy it. If you're going to use like crypto or watches or something like that, you better get it for a steal.
Yeah, it has to be a steal.
If you're going to use that as like a emergency fund, right? And you got to really know what you're doing. You got to have like a designated person that you could sell it to that you know will give you the money for it no matter what. That's a bit riskier.
But this is why, just after your point, the average person, number one, write down your expenses so you know, and then minus that from your income. Because guys, if you can save money from your current paycheck, I guarantee you, the more you make, the more you can save, 100%. So
you know what I say? I think one good way to do it is have half that money sitting in like a random checking account, right? That you have access to, God forbid, and then also a good portion of it should be in cash. As much as I hate cash, guys, I genuinely hate cash. But if shit pops off and you need money quick, nothing's like cash, dude.
So what I used to do is I used to have my bank set up where like all my money coming in from paycheck, the EFT transfer, 30% goes to my savings. So that's automatic. Whenever I get paid, 30% goes to savings.
Yeah.
That's 30%. Now, depending on who you are as a person, what your expenses are, you can determine how much you want to put into savings right away from your income.
Like me, guys, I got like a stash of cash, my coins, not coins,
Silver?
Like silver. I have them in coins though. Cash and silver, right? And why is that? Because you can instantly liquidate that, right? The silver you can sell immediately, and then the cash is very important in an emergency, man. So it's okay to have that backup, emergency fund in different ways. Maybe you can have some of it in crypto, then you can have some of it in cash, then some of it in a checking account, whatever you want to do. But make sure that it's liquid and you can immediately get access to it, guys. Even with the crypto, I'm a little worried. So you put it in just in a checking account or something. Or if you want it the easiest, keep it in cash. Just make sure you have a safe. Invest in a safe, please, if you're going to keep a lot of cash. All right?
And just side note, if you're going to have cash in your house, you bring girls over, please.
Yeah.
Keep it safe,
God.
bro.
Yeah, man. Lock that shit up, bro.
How many stories of guys
Come
I know
on, man.
that have wads of cash in their crib, they bring girl over. Where's my
Gone.
cash? It's gone.
Yeah,
Watches,
bro.
cash, bro. Guys, have a safe at least.
Lock
bro.
that shit up, man. Please,
Bro.
You know.
God.
But the point is, the rule. I don't care how y'all have it. The rule is it needs to be liquid so you can get it within 24 hours.
Yes.
Even less, probably.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Cool. Next.
Number 4.
Get rid of debt as soon as possible.
This is huge, by the way.
Yeah.
This is one of my main reasons why I was able to buy property, and it's because I had no debt. Now, obviously, guys, if you're working one job, that's your static income. That's what you have monthly. But some of you need two to three jobs, just because your debt is so high that your income will never match the amount of money you need to pay it off completely. And as a result, you're stuck in a cycle of paying for debt from credit cards, maybe buying clothes at the mall, maybe a car. You're never gonna really pay off, and as a result, you're stuck in a cycle of depression. It's like a weight on your ankle. What do you call those, like weighted chains?
Like ankle weights.
So imagine in your life you're walking
A
around
ball and chain.
with a ball and chain.
Yep.
Every single day.
Yep.
That is debt in manifestation in real time.
Facts.
So, guys, debt is going to be one of your biggest issues because for most people, they live with debt their whole life. But that shouldn't be you. You should be living to be debt free. So you're, one, you have peace of mind, but two, your money can be invested into yourself or investments or your future, your family. Now, again, there's a snowball effect you can use to pay off debt, which basically you're paying off the highest interest first, or the smallest one first, whatever works for you, and pay it down that way. But the main thing is, guys, you're saving money from your account, from your income, to pay off debt. Now, this is very fundamental, but here's the secret, right? Most people that are successful won't have no personal debt. They have what? Business debt, which means it's all on real estate, all on businesses, but not credit cards that they have to pay 23% on or 18% on. It's only going to be business debt, which is huge towards your financial future. And I think for most people as well, if you look at it this way, you're going to have debt in your lifetime. But how you manage it is going to determine what you can buy, how you move forward in life, even buy property. Guys, if you didn't know, you have too many issues, for example, of high payments towards cars, maybe furniture, maybe, for example, different items in your property or even in like your life. When they go look at your credit to give you a loan for your house, they want to prove you, especially student loan debts. That's huge, by the way. Having student loan debts is huge. So I would just say, guys, to your financial future, you want to have money saved up to pay off debt. And if you need 2 jobs, bro, get 2 jobs, bro, because having debt on your mind is going to be crucial to your success. So again, guys, pay off your debt as soon as possible. Get 2 jobs, 3 jobs, whatever you need to get pay it off. Maybe even more expensive, even more, but that's going to be crucial to your success.
Yeah. The other thing too, guys, is oh shit. Fuck, I lost my train of thought.
Paying off debt.
Goddamn. Oh yeah.
Fast as possible.
Please pay off your consumer debt, guys.
Yeah.
Credit cards especially. Like we've done, you guys, if you watched our credit card episodes, you guys already know these credit card companies want to kill you. The lowest I've ever seen credit card interest rates is like 13 to 17%, right? But normally it goes well above 20 into the 30s. So credit cards, guys, is what kills you, man. If you got to pay the minimum payments for a period of time, that's one thing. But yo, the credit card debt, bro, you guys got to cut that down immediately because that will always mess you up. And what ends up happening is the way the credit card companies work, they want you to make the minimum payment so that you can continue to pay them forever.
Yeah.
You're not going to actually pay off the credit card making the minimum payments. What credit cards don't want you to do is what we teach you guys to do. Get the credit card, get the free points, get the free cash back, get the benefits, then pay it off in full every month and don't give them any interest.
Yeah.
They live off of interest. And that's what you don't want to pay, guys. When you pay it off in full, every 30 days, you're good. And you get all the benefits from it, guys. So I would say if you got to pick one, obviously credit card debt is some of the worst ones and have the highest interest rates. You always want to pay out the debts that have the highest interest rates, and credit cards tend to be that.
I think a good rule to follow is for credit cards, only buy what you're going to buy anyway from your debit card.
Yes.
So don't buy more, just buy what
Yes.
you're going to pay for, like gas, groceries, maybe rent if you can, but only what you're going to pay for normally.
Yeah. Use credit cards for expenditures that you were going to make anyway. Don't make extra expenditures because you got the credit card. Okay? That's a big difference. Use the credit card, guys, for things you are going to spend the money on anyway, not for things you're going to spend on that are new. Fuck that shit. Don't do that, guys.
I know people, they get a credit card, they pay for vacations with their girlfriend, they go buying clothes and stuff like that in the mall. It's like, bro, what are you doing with extra cash that you have? Like, save it, pay off your credit card, and then buy shit you actually need, not just like luxuries. But again, that's most people's current status.
Yeah,
have
man.
fun now and pay for it later. if they can.
Yeah, man.
So, number 4.
So that's number 4, guys. Okay, so we're on here to the last one. Okay, we're on the final round. Quick little recap. Right. So, number 1, guys, was write down your monthly expenses and your income side by side, and then have a visual representation, right, of what your money coming in looks like and what your money going out looks like. Right. Step 2. From there, with the visual representation, you're able to make adjustments real time and be able to remove things that are costing you money that you don't necessarily need. But it gives you a picture of what you need to do, right? We always say what doesn't get measured doesn't get managed. This is one of the best ways to do it. And then writing it out is going to force you to be honest with yourself. A lot of you guys want to be Mara Winans, I don't want to know. You need to fucking know, all right? Don't be one of these idiots that's operating blind financially.
Yeah,
then
it's going to hurt. But once you find out and you can
have to
manage
do
it, then you're good to go.
Then number 3, save towards your emergency fund, guys. 3 months bare minimum of your salary, if not 6 to 12 months preferably. I want y'all to have a year of money ready to go. So if anything happens, you get injured, a family member needs the money, emergency comes up, you lose your job, whatever, you can sustain yourself for a significant amount of time, all right? So 12 months is the goal. 3 months is the bare minimum, 6 months is good. But try to get 12 months worth of income, okay? So if you make $52K per year, try to have $52K sitting in a bank account somewhere. That'd be fucking fantastic. That's your emergency fund, all right? And then number 4 is get rid of debt as soon as possible. Most importantly, consumer debt like credit cards, which we all know have high interest rates between 13 all the way up to goddamn 30%. And it fluctuates too, guys. Okay, 1 month they could choose to charge you 13%. Another month they can go ahead and say, oh, we're just going to charge you 30%.
Yeah.
And it's all there. When you guys sign all that goddamn stuff like, oh, do you agree to the terms and conditions? That's what they're telling you on there. We reserve the right to increase the interest rate whenever the fuck we feel like it. And it could easily be up into the 30%. So, guys, be intelligent with credit cards. Spend it on things that you're already going to spend paid off fully in months so that you get the benefits without having to pay them interest, okay? Because they're banking on you not paying it in full so they can collect interest from you and then keep you as a fucking slave. You don't want that. Just like Fresh said, having a bunch of debt is like putting a ball and chain on your ankle and significantly limiting your freedom and your ability to do things that you want to do. And most importantly, invest in assets that's actually going to give you the freedom. Credit card companies don't want you investing in assets. They want you investing in them so they can continue to collect interest from you. Now we're on the last one.
That's what I get you.
All right. Save up money to invest into yourself, skills to gain more income, and invest into real estate, etc. That is the final part of budgeting.
Man, this is huge because people say all the time, yo, Fresh, Myron, I got 10K saved up, 50K saved up. What should I invest in? Now, number 4 was important, vital. The problem is, if you're going to invest money into yourself or an asset or a skill, if you have debt that is high percentage of maybe, for example, interest or, for example, just a high rate, whatever you invest in is going to be taken away from that debt. Now, pay off the debt as soon as possible. Then, when you get the money from saving, managing, budgeting, whatever money you invest in is not stored, distorted, or, for example, taken away from your debt. Now, regarding saving for your skills, yourself, or making more income, I think for most people, they underestimate themselves because obviously, most Americans, what do? They go shopping, they waste money, and when it comes to actually investing in themselves, they can't. Now, for me, what I did was I said, you know what? I got 2 choices here. Either I can focus on saving money now and putting it into myself, or have fun, go out to the bars with friends, and relax. Now, luckily, I chose number 1, which is save money, invest in myself. So, step 1, I budgeted, saved money, lowered expenses, I had money left over. From that money, I took it, I paid for a mentor, I went to this workshop, paid for different things I could learn online, for marketing, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff, right? But real estate as well. And because of that 5-year period I spent doing that, whenever I made the money to actually have to invest into things, I knew what to do right away. Now, for some of you, I might be learning a skill, getting a trade, going to school, whatever it may be, you need money to make it happen. So I think for most people, you need to start from now. Focus on, 1, writing it down your stuff so you know what money's coming in, what's going out. And then more importantly, number 4, be debt free. I can't tell you guys how much peace of mind I had being debt free. If I was ever going to be successful, the last thing I want to be is highly in debt. I know guys, again, that are making good money, like what, $500K a year, $400K a year, but they have so much debt that they're not happy. And they're slaves to their job or to their business. Because again, when you're in debt, you have to constantly work overtime, work really hard just to maintain, versus you're debt free. Peace of mind I can invest into myself, into skills. And again, most Americans are doing what? Living paycheck to paycheck with no savings. So again, guys, invest in yourself, have money saved up, have no debt.
Good points, man. So the whole purpose, guys, right? This whole episode, the name of the episode is obviously budgeting. But you ask yourself, why are you budgeting? The reason why you're budgeting, guys, is so that you keep your expenses low to a point that you're actually able to save some money. When you save money, you're able to take that money and invest it into assets that will create more income for yourself, okay? That's the whole purpose of budgeting and living well below your means. So you have extra money that you can start to invest, okay? And once you start to invest that money, what ends up happening is you're going to slowly start to buy your time back, okay? So you guys know we like real estate a lot. We talk about real estate all the time. It's probably one of the best asset classes that actually pays you back actual dividend with cash flow and tenants giving you money, and it's consistent every month. The reason why we want y'all to budget is so that you have extra money, invest that money into real estate, and then what you can slowly start to do if you do this correctly is you can start to cut back on your real job. You can start to have more freedom. You can start to, do things that you want to do versus things that you have to do. And if you do this correctly and you budget hard for a while, right, and you exercise delayed gratification, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to set yourself up where you won't have to work hard forever. Work hard now so you don't have to work hard later. Because as you get older, you want to enjoy your later years, guys. And the faster and the harder that you make money and budget, the faster you can get out of the fucking rat race. Okay, guys? Now, are all you guys going to be retired at 30 years old? No. But if you could retire at 40, 50, 60, have a good amount of money sitting in where you don't have to necessarily work anymore, I think that's a W, right? Where you don't have to worry about, oh man, I gotta stick it out at my job so I can get my pension and all this other bullshit. No, if you do this correctly, guys, you can retire early, right? That's the whole purpose of budgeting. This isn't budgeting just so you can put money in a bank account and stare at it like an idiot. No, it's so that you could take that money, right, which is, by the way, losing its value through inflation. You could take that money, buy assets that pay you back so that you can start to get your freedom back. This is what it's about, guys. It's about becoming financially free. I've told y'all a million times. You don't have to become an entrepreneur to be financially free, but you need to invest to become financially free because you can't work forever. And a lot of you guys don't want to work forever, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for you to get your freedom back, you need to invest, guys. And budgeting is going to put you in a position where you have excess money that you can invest that will help you purchase assets that will pay you back a dividend so you don't have to work anymore. All right?
Well said.
That's what you want. That's the whole purpose of this budgeting. It's not just to put money in a checking account and look at it like a moron. It's to invest in assets that will pay you back so you don't have to worry about checking your goddamn checking account anymore.
Could you imagine? Oh, well said, by the way. Could you imagine walking into work because you want to, not because you have to? Could you imagine
Changes the whole
actually having
scope of
money in
things.
an account to say, you know what? Today I want to go to Dubai. I have like 100K saved up. I'll take a little trip. Could you imagine seeing a property that you want to buy with your girlfriend, your wife, maybe your mom? You know what, Mom? I'm buying a house because I have money saved up and we need a house to live in. Just having that clarity and peace of mind, guys, is priceless. And for most people, you
It's
don't
going
have
to take
that.
sacrifice in the beginning. A lot.
But instead of going to work, go to work to have a plan to get out. And let's say you want to stay at your job, that's fine. But having the money and the budget to do what you want out of life is huge, by the way. So again, guys, like Marion said, you budget to have money in your account, but for a purpose. Not just to look at it, but to put it towards good things. So